Have you come to the place where you can acknowledge that you've been in an emotionally abusive relationship for many years? Have you noticed how emotional abuse is physical abuse? How when you are criticized, gaslighted, lied to, shamed, and broken down emotionally, that all of those things also break down your entire body at a systemic level, affecting your hormones, your immune system, your brain function, and your organ integrity? How have you responded to the emotional abuse you've experienced? Hi, I'm Natalie Hoffman with FlyingFreeNow.com, and today I'm going to share with you 5 ways abuse targets respond to emotional abuse and which one is actually the most effective. So there are 5 ways that we can respond to emotional abuse. Let's break it down and figure out what your natural response is and how you can change it if you decide you want to do that. One way to respond to verbal and emotional abuse is to deny that it's happening, to just ignore it, to pretend it isn't real or it's not that bad, or that you could handle it if you just kept going and trusted God more. Emotional abuse occurs cyclically. So when you are in the good part of the cycle, there is deep relief in hoping and pretending that the bad part really wasn't as bad as it felt. And you can hope that your partner might be getting better and changing and that it won't come back around again. Maybe if you don't rock the boat this time. A second possible way to respond to emotional and verbal abuse is to fight back. So you put up a wall of protection around yourself and you begin to behave like the person who's abusing you, trying to take back control of a horrible situation by asserting yourself in destructive ways in order to keep your head above the waters that are threatening to drown you. You might yell, you might use sarcasm, or resort to the same passive-aggressive tactics that your abuser does to control you. A third response to emotional and verbal abuse is to give up, just to lay down and die to yourself, to let it happen without exerting yourself in any way at all. You just resign yourself to your lot in life and allow the emotionally abusive person to suck your life away. A fourth response to emotional and verbal abuse is to work hard at placating your partner. So when he's being mean, you bend over backwards to make him his favorite meal, or give him sex on his terms, or do his chores for him, take his responsibility for him, manage his emotions. You might avoid asking him for any favors or for help if you need it. If the kids are sick, you make sure to take care of them so he won't be bothered with any responsibility. So think about it. What is your style? Do you tend to deny that it exists? Do you fight the abuse? Do you give up and just let it happen? Or do you try to serve him and placate him so he'll be nice? All 4 of these responses keep the abuse target in the grip of abuse. All 4 responses rely on the abuse target and everyone else believing a big fat lie about who you are and what your life is all about. There is, I believe, a 5th response to emotional abuse. It's the response that Jesus had when he walked on this earth and experienced all kinds of emotional abuse. Let's look at what he did do and what he didn't do. If you read the Gospel of John and look for all the ways that Jesus faced emotional and physical abuse, you will see that he was accused of being a devil. He was betrayed. He was abandoned by his friends. He was mocked, made fun of, and judged falsely. People told lies about him, and other people believed those lies. He was left alone. Jesus did only good things. He brought only good and love into the world. He was perfect, but it didn't matter how perfect he was or what he did. He was still rewarded with lies and hate. So how did he respond to that kind of abuse? Did he deny the abuse? No. We actually see him confronting abuse over and over again. Abuse that he saw in the lives of other people and the abuse that was done to him. He stood up for those who were victims of spiritual abuse. He broke the law many times you'll see in the Gospels in order to demonstrate the love of God. And he didn't apologize for it. He spoke hard truth to the abusive religious leaders. Jesus fully acknowledged the reality and the wickedness of abuse. 2, did he fight the abuse? No, we don't see him passive aggressively manipulating anyone. We don't see him in verbal tit for tats. We don't see him arguing his points. He would state the truth, and then he let people believe or not believe him as they pleased. We don't see him trying to take control of anything or anyone. He lets people do what they choose to do. He focuses instead on controlling himself. That's it. He is fully adult, fully mature, fully whole and complete in himself. He does not need to control everybody else in order to maintain his own personal identity. He does not need their approval. He does not need their validation, and he does not need their permission. Number 3, did he just give up and let it happen? You might think so at first. I mean, yes, in order to fulfill his purpose for coming, he allowed them to crucify him eventually. But ultimately, he rose from the dead and accomplished his own purpose in that. He did not give up ever. He brought justice and healing to the human race by what he did do in the face of abuse. And number 4, did he bend over backwards serving people in the hope of getting others to like him and validate him? He definitely served the people. He healed them. He talked with them. He walked with them. He invested his time and energy on them, but he never did it in the hope that they would like him. He did it for only one reason, because he loved them, not the other way around. Because he was his own person and 100% fully living into his own identity, a lot of people did not like him. And he never ran after them, chasing them down, trying to win them over to his side. He let them go. He let them choose. So how do we apply Jesus's example in our own emotionally abusive relationships? Here's the key: love. Love is the key. Love is not denying. Love is not pretending or lying. Love is not fighting. Love is not giving up. Love is not chasing after. Love is not judging or hating or getting revenge. What is love? First of all, love is letting others be free to be who God made them. And part of that means letting others be free to make their own choices in life. That means letting go of control over other people's choices. If they don't like you and they only want to hurt you, love means letting them go. If they continue to hunt you down in order to continue to abuse you, love means then getting away, not managing their own emotions and trying to rescue them from themselves and their choices. Love means letting them take personal responsibility for themselves. Secondly, love also means taking responsibility for the life God gave to you, to make your own choices before God in freedom, knowing that his love covers everything. It covers your dark. His love gives you the freedom to walk deeply in the light that he put inside of you without fear of your dark side. Love casts out fear, remember? Number 3, love means living vulnerably and courageously, knowing that you are always and forever safe and held in his perfect love. And 4th, love means being whole and complete on your own, nothing else required, because God already created you as a whole person the day that you were conceived. Would you like more help in understanding how to move from denial, fighting, dying, and trying in your relationships to becoming a loving, compassionate woman toward yourself and others, a strong woman who stands in truth and is able to tolerate the discomfort of those who want to deny that truth? The Flying Free Sisterhood might be exactly what you need. You can find out more about how to get involved by going to joinflyingfree.com. And if you're not quite ready to take that step, why not just connect with me by hopping on my mailing list? I will send you the first chapter of my book, Is It Me? Making Sense of Your Confusing Marriage, along with the first chapter of the companion workbook. And I've got some other goodies for you too. All you need to do is hop over to the Flying Free website, www.flyingfreenow.com, and sign up over there. And that's all I have for you today. Until next time, fly free.